Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hi, welcome. My name is Kay. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I would like to do a vacation budget closeout and take you through my vacation budget template on Google Sheets. I will be reviewing the sections of my template, what we had budgeted for our anniversary getaway trip, and what we actually spent, as well as seeing how we can plan for future trips a little bit better. So I hope you enjoy this video and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. So friends, the new year is a great time for me anyway, to challenge myself in different ways and to try new things to see if I can't grow in the next year. I love to learn new things and apply new skills to all the different things that I do. So, one of the videos that I wanted to do in 2023 and couldn't find the time was to do a closeout video for my summer vacation budget with you all. And so this year, I want to go ahead and start with a closeout for my anniversary getaway trip that we planned for the first week of January. If you're new, I had spent 2023, the latter part of 2023, cash stuffing my anniversary envelope with $400. And what I knew was going to happen was going over budget a little bit, and I'm kind of, prepared for that with stuffings in other categories. So that was the really fun part this time around, was to be able to budget and cash stuff and use this new template. So this template here is from Prosperous Budgets here on YouTube. She shared this template with us during her Christmas Vlogmas series. She did this template for Christmas shopping, and it's worked out really well for me with the Christmas shopping. And so I decided to see if I couldn't tweak it a little bit to make it a vacations budget expense tracker and countdown tracker. So I think it worked really well. So I'm glad to be sharing this with you today. I want to quickly review the sections in my template and then go through the different categories that I budgeted for, and then as well as go through my actual expenses, and hopefully wrap up this video with an idea of how to make this better and how to tighten up my budget so when summer rolls around, we can plan another trip to the beach. So I want to start at the top here with this first section here. This is sort of a budget breakdown and a countdown. So up at the top, it says days until vacation, and it's right now returning an error, but this function correlates with this cell here, which goes with the date. So if I were to change the date to something in the future, which let's do the 20th, you'll notice that the countdown starts and it says that I have 10 days until the 20th. But we're going to leave it at the first for now because, of course, my trip is over and this is my closeout. So this is over. So my budget for this anniversary getaway, which if you're new, I planned a vacation to Pagosa Springs, Colorado, to visit the hot springs there and to experience snow, because here in Texas all we do is get rain and sleet and ice. We don't get snow. So I did all the things that I wanted to do in Colorado, and I'm very happy to have made the trip and to have spent the money on this experience. But I had budgeted for me and my partner to spend about $1,890. Usually we spend about $2,000 whenever we do something. So our actual expenses were more in line with what I was expecting would happen. We spent $2,007.27, which left us with a negative remaining balance of $117. And that is, to me, a win because I'm splitting that overage with my boyfriend. And so, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to also go over this completion rate. This is just another little item that was included in the Christmas budget template. Didn't really utilize it in the vacation template, but I kept it because I thought it was pretty nifty. It correlates here with this, the categories section. I'm going to just drop down the first two boxes. We had a VBRO and condo expense and a car expense with Turo. And so it correlates here with these completed check boxes. So when you click on your checkbox, it correlates up here with the completion rate. And it says with those two items checked, we had managed to complete, what is that? About 80% of our budget, maybe? So the next chart up here, since we're up here, is the budget and the actual. This is just another visual graphic. It's a bar graph, and it has the budget item here, and it shows visually how we went over just a teeny bit. And then this third graph here is our category graph, and this is where it splits down the anniversary budget that I had stuffed, that I had cash flowed into all of the different categories that we spent the cash in. So let's head back down over to the categories section. I had a gas category that I budgeted $200 for, but we actually only used $166. I had a groceries category, but we budgeted $100, but we went over about $12. And we have a extra lodging expense. We had an overnight stay in Santa Fe. I budgeted $100 because I knew I could get like a Holiday Inn Express for under 100, but we made a last minute decision to stay in downtown Santa Fe. And so I booked a quaint little inn with the Santa Fe style, because I don't think my boyfriend Justin has ever been to Santa Fe, so I wanted to make sure that he got to experience Santa Fe while we were there. And so I got an Expedia discount, and we spent $138, which was $38 over what I had budgeted, but I don't regret that purchase. Dining out, the restaurant category was, we budgeted $200 and we went over $31, so we spent $31.08. The next category is our activities category. We had 2 activities planned. I did not plan enough in this category. I budgeted $200, but we really needed about $250. We had 2 activities we wanted to do. We wanted to visit the hot springs in Pagosa, and the resort there was a little bit more expensive than I had budgeted, because I didn't realize we would have to rent a locker and rent robes. So we did also tubing, and so that we came in right on budget, but the hot springs was a little bit more than I expected, and we spent about $25 more. In cash, in the cash category, initially I thought we would get away with this trip with cash purchases, but it was just too difficult, and the credit card just was the best solution for us. We were able to track our expenses, especially our online expenses with the extra room that we rented. And it was just a lot easier to keep track of it. So we switched gears. I brought out my laptop and adjusted money, and we put the cash at $20 budgeted, and we spent $13. And that's only because after our first expense on the trip, I realized how difficult it would be to travel and use nothing but cash, and be able to split everything, all the expenses between 2 people. So next category is the miscellaneous category. This I had budgeted $20 because my only expectation was to buy a souvenir, but we ended up having a little mishap with the windshield wiper. So we had to replace the windshield wiper on the Turo car. And then we decided to also add the extra insurance that Turo offers, because Justin had called his insurance provider, his auto provider, and they apparently didn't have as much coverage on a Turo car as you would get on a rental with a traditional rental place. So we went ahead and did $60 extra in this category for that extra insurance. And then my last category was personal expenses. This was just me accounting for any Dutch expenses that I wanted to keep track of here on the expenses tracker side. And I did not budget a line item because these were going to be decisions I made based on how much I knew was in my cash binder. So this category was Dutch expenses and personal items, which I didn't have too many. So let's head on over to the expenses side now. I talked about our condo and the Turo car, and those expenses were completed in October. The condo cost us $810, and the Turo car cost us $246. I am very happy with those 2 prices. We really enjoyed the condo, and the car was amazing for us. So really, and I know this information is very tiny on your screen. I do apologize for that, but this is all I could manage. I may look into different software if this becomes more of a regular thing, but for right now, I'm just doing these digital budgeting videos with you for vacation trips only. So our next expense, I'm just going to go ahead and give you all of January 1's expenses. We started out, I needed to have breakfast because I didn't eat breakfast before we left for our trip, but I used a gift card for that. So I just marked 0 in that category. We got gas in Amarillo. We ate dinner in Amarillo, and we stopped at the Cadillac Ranch. And if you guys have never heard of Cadillac Ranch, it's an art display out in the middle of nowhere in Amarillo. And the Big Texan is a well-known restaurant that serves a 72-ounce steak. If anyone can eat the 72-ounce dinner, which includes the steak, the loaded baked potato, the salad, the bread with the rolls with butter, and then possibly a dessert. If you can eat all that in an hour, you get it for free. So a lot of Food Network channel people have gone there to try and do that challenge. And so there's a lot of like food, what do you call them? Like eating competitors that go there for the 72-ounce steak challenge. Anyway, it was a quick little bite. We got a small steak there, and then visited the Cadillac Ranch and took some really great pictures. I hope to share them in my cash stuffing video next with you. And yeah, so then we got back on the road, and when we decided to stay in Santa Fe, I was looking around for this inn, and it's called the Inn at Venessi, I believe, and it was gorgeous. It was in the Mesa style, so very authentic to Santa Fe. We stayed downtown, and it was beautiful. Before we left Amarillo, we got gas for $38, and we used our Upside app for the first time in Amarillo, and we're keeping track and having fun using that app on our trip for the first time. On the second day, we were in Pagosa already. So we dined. Well, so the second day we started in Santa Fe. We had breakfast before checking out, and we went to Tia Sofia, which is a family-owned restaurant that's been in that area for 100 years. It was amazing food, very authentic. We spent $45.77 there, which included the tip. We got gas in Espanola, which is just outside of Santa Fe, for $34. And then when we got to Pagosa, we went straight to Walmart to get our groceries for breakfast for the week, because really all I could think about was coffee. And so I got our coffee to brew inside of our room. And I got us eggs and sausage and tortillas and coffee creamer, and can't think of anything else, but we spent about $36 on groceries for the breakfasts during the week. And for dinner, we decided to try the pizza restaurant across the street from our condo. It was really good. We went Dutch at that time, and so I'm going to need to find $20.77 from my cash envelopes on my unstuffing video. And then on the third day, we spent the day at the Pagosa Springs Hot Springs Resort and Spa. It was beautiful. Can't wait to show you the pictures. This is where our expenses for the spa were a little bit more than I expected. They totaled $187. And then after that, we were exhausted and starving and ready to eat. So we got ready and went to Walmart and bought our groceries for 3 dinners and a dessert, which we overspent on groceries. We probably didn't need to have another dinner planned because we ended up eating out again. So we spent $67.39 for fajitas, chicken fajita supplies, and they went great with the country taco supplies. And then I planned Italian pasta, which we didn't eat and we brought home with us, and I had made dinner for us just the other night. So I'm okay with that because the groceries got to come home with us. The next day, we spent the day in our condo because it snowed all day, you guys, and this is exactly what I was hoping for, was a day of snow. I would have loved like 2 days worth of snow, but one day was perfect because the next day we were able to do all of the snow activities that we wanted to do. But as it was snowing, the both of us were watching the snow fall from the balcony. We decided to test out our snow gear and we walked to the gas station, which was about a mile away. And we got to walk in the snow and take some beautiful pictures on the San Juan River, which is the river that feeds the hot springs. And then we got a magnet at a little gift shop on the way back, which, if you don't know, I collect magnets for everywhere we go. And so I got a Pagosa Springs magnet for my collection. And so we went to bed and we woke up the next morning ready to go on our tubing trip. We rented our tubes and we went up to Wolf Creek Overlook, which is a mountain, a beautiful mountain. Wolf Creek gets the most snow in the area. And so we tubed and had a great time. The rentals for the tubes for all day for the two of us was $38.16. We were starving when we were done. Actually, I should say we were thirsty when we were done because I passed the local brewery called Riff Raff, and they don't necessarily use the Pagosa Springs water in their beer, but they use the heat from the springs to brew their beer. So I thought that was very cool. We stayed there for a couple hours, had probably one too many beers. And our total for our happy hour was $76.57. We decided to get dressed and get cleaned up and go back to Riff Raff because their food menu was amazing and we wanted to try their food. And we spent $45.41 on dinner. That same day, we replaced the windshield wipers, so that expense is tracked here at $21.90. And then it was time to come home. So all we did was drove straight home, you guys. We stopped in Santa Fe again for gas, and then we stopped in Texas for gas. The total for those two trips was $76 in gas. And then the next morning we got up and we topped the tank off at $17.17 and returned the Turo car, which overall very impressed with the Turo app. You're in constant communication with the owner and it was really nice through the app and it worked out really well. And the car did great in the snow. And the last couple of things I wanted to track, since we did decide on the extra insurance, I've added that $60 in the miscellaneous category. And then I also wanted to add the discounts that we got in the Upside app. And I just went ahead and just put $25 in there just because I'm pretty sure it was close to that. Because what we did is I used his referral code and then he got like extra discount or extra cash back. So I just put the $25 in there and just want to show how the negative does get applied to the actual column, just like an Excel spreadsheet. So that came off our total. And that is it, you guys. One last thing was, since I went over, I wanted to see how much I went over. So I added up the actual column and it looks like I'm over $75. So I did this intentionally because I knew that I had money in other categories. Like I have a personals category, I have a schmoopy, which is my boyfriend's category. I have extra, like, I want to say like a date night category. So, I knew the money, I could pull that overage from another place. And it's so easy when you're enjoying yourself on vacation to allow yourself to enjoy yourself even more. And my goal was to stay within budget. And although I didn't do that, which, this is really kind of like my first time really budgeting this tightly. So it will only get better. And what I mean by that is I will give myself more in my budgeting categories to allow for that joy of vacationing, spending, So that is it, you guys. I really appreciate it if you've made it this far. Thank you. I hope you liked this video. And if you are new and haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and that notifications bell so that you don't miss my unstuffing video that will be coming up next right after this one. I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.